Drum and bass has its direct origins in the breakbeat hardcore part of the UK acid house rave scene. Breakbeat hardcore records such as The Prodigy's Out of Space are generally credited as being among the first to have a recognisable drum and bass sound. Some hardcore tracks at the time were extremely light and upbeat. The most extreme example of this was the so-called Toy Town tracks such as Smarty's Sesame's Treat, which features the children's show's Sesame Street theme song. This style of hardcore would many years later be known as the happy hardcore genre. As the early 90s saw drum and bass break out from its underground roots and begin to win popularity with the general British public, many producers started to make drum and bass in a different style. Since the term jungle was so closely related to the reggae-influenced sound, DJs and producers who did not incorporate reggae elements began to adopt the term drum and bass to differentiate themselves and their musical styles. This showed a change in the music style, which was sometimes referred to as intelligence.
It's wrapped tightly.
Artists such as Ronnie Sires, Crust, and DJ Dye are considered the people that made drum and bass more mainstream by using this style called intelligence. A new subgenre called jump up was created, which initially referred to tracks which had a change in style at the dropping point in the song, which encouraged people to dance. Influential artists such as Zinc, Hype, Dillinger and Aphrodite, amongst many others, were the first to use the subgenre jump up. Around this time, drum and bass also sealed its popularity by winning a Friday night slot on Radio 1's show One in the Jungle. The station secured the presenting services of Fabio and Groovewire, two of the oldest and most respected DJs in the drum and bass scene. Many DJs made a sudden shift from pirate radio to legal radio at this time. One drum and bass duo that has been on the scene for a long time and are now featuring on some of the biggest jump up lineups are New Elements.
I first got into making music probably, I started out as a DJ, spoke to a few people and they just basically said at the time, you're not really going to get far without sort of making or bringing something to the table, and in my case it was music, so I just sort of went, got a laptop, got I think Reason 2 at the time, started making music on that, didn't really take it as much more than a hobby sort of thing. Then met Overdose through MySpace and then got a copy of Reason 4 and just went from there, started making like some more music, getting signed to a couple of labels and stuff, and yeah, just went from there. Obviously people like Andy C has had massive influences, but personal influences, I've got to say people like Rough Stuff, Magic Straight, MC Fun. If it weren't for people like that, I wouldn't actually be here today making music, so I've got to say massive thanks to them. To be honest with you, I don't really know the hours, but I notice a lot. From when I wake up in the morning, I'm making music, so I'd probably say 80% of my day I'm listening to music and it's drum and bass. A lot of work. When I first started, I didn't really know much about it. It's taken me probably about 5 years to get where I am now. I'm still learning every day. Every day's still like a school day, learning, looking on like YouTube and places like that, on frequencies and things, and just trying to sort of get my head around how music works and where everything should sit.
In 1998, Fabio began creating a form that he called liquid funk. Although slow to catch on at first, the style grew massively in popularity around 2002 to 2004, with labels like Hospital Records including artists such as High Contrast. Subgenres were also being created such as drum funk, autonomic and micro-funk, which also become popular in the 2000s. One that became very popular and still is becoming increasingly popular is jump hop, which has made a revival during the past 10 years. This kept the sense of fun and the simplistic bouncing bass lines from the first generation of jump hop, but with tougher and more edgy production values, including increased sound compression. Notable artists such as DJ Hazard, DJ Clips and Taxman are well known for developing jump hop. Jump hop, as well as liquid, are the most popular type of drum and bass genres in recent times amongst the new generation in the rave scene, with events being held somewhere every other week with the biggest DJs of the genre playing them. Amongst teenagers, liquid drum and bass became popular throughout the years of 2006 to 2010, with DJs such as Netsky becoming big in the genre. Over the next couple of years, jump hop started to become the favourite with DJs such as Logan D, Magistrate and DJ Gov, producing the best jump hop tracks and mixes.
DJ wise, I probably think people like, well, Harry Bizzle's getting there. He's a big up and coming DJ, probably not even an up and coming DJ now, he's mainstream in a lot of events. People like Blackman, the guy's an animal, mixes up 223 tunes in 60 minutes. It's literally alienated. So, and producer wise, I probably think people like Harvest will be doing strong this year, and Mind Vortex on RAM. Prototype drum and bass, obviously because I make it, is jump up. I just love the reaction I get from making it. I just love creating sort of the new bass lines and the gritty sort of stuff, but also I like listening to all types, the dark techie stuff and the liquidy sort of rollers and stuff. I enjoy listening to pretty much all types of drum and bass. Probably the O2 in London, it's probably my favourite venue, but I love playing in Belgium. Every time I play in Belgium, the crowds love us out there, and there's always a good sort of 1,000 to 2,000 people there. Yeah, I do. Basically because of people like Fresh, chasing status, Sub-Focus, bringing the sort of commercial side to it. Obviously they weren't really making drum and bass when they first started, it was more sort of dubsteppy, drum steppy sort of beat. But then they've sort of moved on with the drum and bass, like Hot Right Now with Rita Ora, that's a drum and bass tune, but it's just obviously more sort of commercialised for them. So I think since those sort of tunes dropped, I think sort of broaden the audiences, and you're seeing people at drum and bass events that you probably wouldn't have seen there 5 years ago.
Over the last few years, some drum and bass has been very much commercialised, with DJs such as DJ Zinc and Drum Sound and Bassline Smith producing tracks with chart music artists such as Rita Ora. This has added to the popularity of the genre, as many people that had not been interested in it before now listen to it and don't realise that a lot of the time that it is drum and bass. A big example of this that reached chart success is DJ Fresh's track called Hot Right Now, in which Rita Ora features. Already in the first few months of 2013, we have seen jump up drum and bass DJs making big tracks, including smaller artists such as J-Line and his track Do You Like Jungle?
Jungle, drum and bass. Jungle, drum and bass.
With the genre becoming a much bigger percentage of teenagers' preferred type of music to a couple of years ago, many record labels such as Logan D's, Low Down Deep and Hospital Records, whilst also smaller but popular companies such as Bass Per Minute have started to run big events that attract crowds in the thousands. With 18 plus events such as Logan D and Motor Straight's Birthday Bash being held in some of the most popular clubs, such as O2 Indigo, the drum and bass scene is definitely reaching its peak and is only growing. With a new generation of drum and bass fans and ravers emerging, companies like Bass Per Minute have been running 16 plus events for a couple of years and provide the biggest lineups for teenagers not old enough to attend these 18 plus raves, which shows that the future of drum and bass is looking big and is only going to grow further.